Crafty friends, today we're going to decorate this sweet little suitcase treat box using Friends of the Ocean Designer Series paper. We're going to stamp Hello Friend on there using the Ocean Friends stamp set. And let's get started. I will also tell you about my week, which was super fascinating as I did a career day activity at my school. Anywho, let's talk about this first. This is the Hello Friends stamp, and it comes from this Ocean Friends stamp set. Now, this is part of a bundle. We're not going to be using the dies today because I've already cut out. I've already had a tutorial. This is the third tutorial from the series. I've already had a tutorial on how to cut out the critters from this designer series paper. So let's save ourselves some time. We don't have to cut out any little crabs and lobster today. We're just going to use some little things I already have cut out, and you could do whichever you want to cut to decorate. But this is a really cool suite called Friends of the Ocean Suite, and it's absolutely adorable. And here's a page that shows you how to use the two-step stamping process, where you could stamp the actual image and then like the highlights on it, so you can really get a good crisp image. And I'll show you what else we've made in this series. Now, for the suitcases, you have this product from Stampin' Up. I am a US Stampin' Up demonstrator. Feel free to shop with me using the link below. This is called the Suitcase Treat Boxes. This was in your workshop kit if you're one of the people in the US that purchased the workshop kit. And it's so simple to assemble. You're just going to fold along the score lines. So notice I didn't say we're creating this suitcase treat box. I said we're decorating the suitcase treat box. We're not creating it. Why reinvent the wheel? Now, you know we can create this with the scan and cut. I could design this for you. We have actually, I don't even have to. There's probably simple designs, SVGs, or we use our template maker. However, when there's something with cardstock like this, no need to reinvent the wheel. The only little tricky part is this little handle. You want to fold it back like so, and then up. And I'm going to do it again later, but I just wanted to show you how absolutely easy this is to decorate. Click, click, right? There's a little click. You might not have heard the actual click sound. Boom. Put the little suitcase handle through there. Boom. Done. It is so easy. So I made these for my 3D swap, and I'm going to show you the ones I made for the event I went to on stage. I have a lot of videos planned for this weekend. All right. So now, as I cut, I will tell you about my week. So anyway, you can get a package of these. I forget how much they cost, but here's the product number, 165580. Become a demonstrator, save 20% on your products, or 25% in my case. It does go up to 25% as a discount. Then you can get these products for even cheaper. Anywho, okay, so let's get a piece of paper. So we write down some measurements as needed. These are really, really simple measurements. We're just going to take a piece of this paper. I'm going to use this. You want to use a paper that's really cute for the back. You know, with the little crabs and seahorse and pufferfish and all that, right? Use a piece like that for the back of your box. And then because the sentiment's going to go on the front of your box, we don't need it to be as busy. So we can use the other side of this paper or what have you. So I'm going to use my Stampin' Up trimmer. And we're going to cut this. Now, I did this. So I work at a school. I work at an elementary school. And I volunteered to do Career Day. Career Day was Wednesday. This whole week was Career Week. We had a really fun time for Career Week. We dressed up in different outfits every day. But on Wednesday was Career Day. So guest speakers came from all over the community. And I picked third grade because they're very sweet. It's a very sweet age. And a lot of them want to be YouTubers. So I decided that I'm going to do a talk about being a YouTuber in the career field. And then rotating around the third grade, in my cohort, in my group of people, I had a mortician, a nurse, and a police officer. So that was my group of four, and we rotated around and we talked to all four third grade classes. And then in other classes, there were guide dogs, and there were just fascinating people from all over the community. I mean, different people, sports players, and different kinds of things. I can't remember all the different things, people who came. So I'm up there and I say, hello, crafty friends. Or I said to the students, I said, hello, I'm the papered chef. And I'm explaining I'm the papered chef because I'm trying to explain how important branding is. And as you know, I call myself the papered chef on this channel. and hardly ever use my name. But I'm showing my YouTube channel. It's up on the screen, and you can see Kimberly Smith underneath it. But I didn't really emphasize that. I emphasized my brand name. So this little girl raises her hand a couple minutes into my presentation. She's like, do you have a twin? Do you have a twin sister? And I was like, no, I don't have a twin sister. And she's like, you look like Mrs. Smith who works here at the school. I was like dying. I was dying. So from then on, I had to tell the other 3 classes. I had to start with the other 3 classes. I had to say at the beginning of each one, hello, my name's Kimberly Smith. I'm the paper chef. And you also know me as your educational technologist that works here. So I had to explain like I work there and that I am the same person from that point on. So they could realize. I'm just looking for my measurements, guys. I know they wrote them down somewhere. So from then on, they realized, okay, this is the same person, and we're not talking about someone else. So no, I don't have a twin sister. So anyway, you're gonna go. This is the measurements for this width. It's gonna be 3 5/8. So, let's see. This is divided up in 16 parts, though. This trimmer, right? So, but a quarter would be like 4/8, right? Let's see. I'm sorry, a quarter would be 2/8. Duh. I mean, my AI is going to have fun translating that one. My AI is smarter than me. Okay, so we have 2/8 and then 4/8 would be 3 1/2. So we need to go right past 3 1/2. Get a couple smidgen over. So it's 3 5/8. Okay. So 3 1/2 is right there, right? I'm just going to show you where this is at. So if you have a trimmer, you can understand. 3 1/2 will be 4/8. So then 5/8, we're going to go 2 smidgens over. And that's 5/8. Okay, 3 5/8. And now this part, we're going to do 2 and 13/16. So we have, 13/16. So if this is cut in, if 1 inch is 16ths cut into 16 parts, then we have 4/16 would be a quarter, and then 8/16 would be a half. But in this case, it's 13/16. So we have 12/16 is 2 3/4, and then 1 smidgen over. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut a couple of these just to have them 2 1/2 and 2 3/4 and 2, okay, and 1 more smidgen. All right, and let's see if I can get 1 more out of this paper. I don't know because this is one of the ones I use with the scan and cut. All right, nope. Okay, we can't get another one out of that one. We probably can get it out of this little scrap. I just like to have them because when I make these kinds of crafts, I like to mass produce. So I will write those 2 measurements down for you, and then you can make a little sort of a belly band if you like as well. So then I proceeded to explain. So in my career day presentation, and I'm going to show you my equipment one of these times when I do my unboxings this weekend. I still have some more unboxings, and I'm going to show you some of my top performer gifts that I earned. And in there, I showed them some equipment. So I started out saying that I started my YouTube channel in 2017, and I explained the equipment that you need to be a YouTuber. So the tools of the trade, and I showed them this trimmer and my catalogs and the Stampin' Up! Things I use. But then I showed them a ring light, a microphone, how I use my iPhone. I showed them the different equipment. And then, of course, they asked me, let me just do this one, about gaming. They really, a lot of the boys are into gaming channels. So then my next phase of the presentation was different ways to make money on a YouTube channel. So like I explained that there's advertisement revenue, people who have YouTube channels have advertisements at the beginning. And I do a lot of live streams, and they're like, well, gamers do live streams. I said, yes, and gamers people give them what's called a super chat, or like donations while they're live streaming. It's more common in gaming because they're teaching people the gaming tips and stuff along the way. I've had those as well, donations during my live streams, but more likely it's like they live stream for hours straight. And my revenue mostly comes from selling things. So I explained that you could get advertising revenue, or you could get donations or memberships. So I will be thanking all the members that are on here. I'm just going to go ahead and attach this to the back of my suitcase. And that you can get advertisement revenue, memberships or donations, and you can like sell products. And I didn't get into the whole like sponsorship thing. So I showed my camera and I put it in the vertical format. And then they were talking about like watching their parents watch the makeup tutorials and things when they saw my camera in that format, and the exercise tutorials. So like they're very familiar with their parents you watching YouTube. And so the next day I come in and I taught him also how to paper craft. I taught him how to make a little diaper fold, which I'll show you later because we made one on this channel. I showed him how to make a cute little envelope. And then I'm watching them. I walk down and they're lunchtime. They're carrying these little crafts around with them. I was so impressed. I was so touched. They were carrying around with them like all day in their pockets. So that's the back. I call that the back because like this opens. Well, it doesn't really matter what you call the back, but like I like to call that the back because this could be like the front, meaning this is like the front, meaning kind of folds down like that. So we'll make the front a little bit different, and I will write down the measurements. So the next day, I'm walking around, and I see the lunch monitor, my good friend, they see me, and then they walk up to her, and they're like, do you know Miss Smith has a YouTube channel? And they're telling her, and she's like, yeah. And they're like, I watched her YouTube channel. So like some of the students watched my channel, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so impressed. We're going to use this paper. This is really cute with the little sea stars, right, for the suitcase. And they were telling her that their parents, they told their parents about the YouTube channel and that they watched it. And I was explaining that to them during my presentation that a lot of them are not going to, like, if they're not into craftings, then they're not going to be watching the channel. But then some of them are into crafts, and they did come back the next day and say they watched it. So that was really nice. And I've become like somewhat of a celebrity amongst the third graders at my school. And now they think I'm like super cool chick because I have a YouTube channel, and I couldn't believe how fascinated they are about it. And now they're asking me all kinds of questions as well. And so they wanted to know right then and there, like in the class, can we go on YouTube? They all want to be on YouTube. And of course I could get in trouble for like putting children on YouTube, obviously, right? So I was like, and plus I'm at work, so I was like, so I showed them how to live stream. I just showed them like, this is the button we would press. And if you press this, you're going to go live, and then you're going to be streaming, but you have to be ready, and I'm not ready. I explained to them, I'm not ready because in order to be ready, I have to have all my craft supplies, and to be ready. Oops, see this? I'm not ready for cutting this. I was not paying attention to my measurements there. Anyway, 3 and whatever we said, 13 sixteenths. So you have to be ready when you go live. And so I didn't want to tell them like, I can't put you guys on YouTube, I'll get in trouble. So instead I was like, I'm not ready to go live because I don't have my supplies set up. And I need, when I go live, I do it from my she shed, and I don't just do it from, I just made a little belly band, by the way, 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to put that on here like so. And we'll go ahead and make a couple of these while we're at it. Just make a couple extra pieces. Not that you're ever ready, but you have to have like supplies. I said you have to have it planned out, and then you have to have your supplies ready and show everybody what they're going to be making. And then they explain why. And then they told me things that they were passionate about. I explained that you're never going to get tired of your YouTube channel as long as you have a YouTube channel. That's something that you're passionate about. And I said, I'm so passionate about crafting because it's something I'll never get tired of, and I could do it every day. And then I explained that is there anything you like to do that you could do every day? And some of them like dancing, right? They like to dance, and a lot of them like to play games and like sports. So I said, well, those are things that you could do, your channel about. It has to be something you like to do all the time. And I've since 2017, I've had over 1,200 videos published on my channel. So of course I never get tired of it, and I never run out. So they asked me questions like, and I'll tell you guys too. So they said, how do you get your ideas? Like, where do you get your ideas from? And I said, I get them from crafts that I made in the past and my experience, but also from these. I explained magazine because I didn't really want to explain catalog, so I explained like magazine because I was holding this up and they understand what a magazine is, and I was like, this gives me lots of ideas. I said, I look at what other crafters make like this, and then it gives me ideas and inspiration for my crafts. And they're like, wow. And so what I did is I took out my craft bucket, of which, I could show you some of these, but like this one is one we made in this channel, and I'll show you a little better detail because it's an easel card. So I took out the fold cards, and I took out different things, and I said, well, this stamp set here is something that we made on my channel And I showed them, this was like a video I just made with how to use this stamp set, and this is what we made with it. And they're like, wow, you can make this out of that. And they were like, wow. So they understand what a rubber stamp is, because we use rubber stamps around school. We use those little self-inking stamps, and they're like, wow, you can make this out of that. And I was explaining that we made that on the channel. And so, you know, if you have a chance to craft with young people, they are very, very interested in crafting with you and learning about these things. So please, you know, share with them your creativity, because creativity is so important. I explained that if you like drawing and you like art class, you know, pay attention in your art class, because you know, art channels and how-to channels and anything creativity, like with your, some of them want to be a hairstylist or makeup artist, right? All of those things are how-to topics, and how-to videos are very, very popular on YouTube. Because I know my husband, he can fix like anything, but sometimes he gets stuck with his car parts, and he just gets, oh, I need to go on and figure out how to change this car part on it. And he goes on to how-to websites. So there's so many. Okay, let's find that piece of paper I just had, and we're going to write down these measurements before we get too far into. Here we go. So this little suitcase box, of which I'm just going to make two so you can see how it's assembled, is part of my Ocean Friends, or we're just going to call it Friends of the Ocean. It's the DSP. So we're going to call it Friends of the Ocean Suitcase. And it's using a stamp and a suitcase treat box. So the measurements are very simple. 3 5/8. So you're going to cut your paper 3 5/8 by 2 13/16. I'm going to show you another version of this little suitcase made with travel paper. So once again, for the little bots, the little captioning bots, we're going to say that this little part is you're going to make two of these. 3, you're going to cut your designer series paper called Friends of the Ocean designer series paper. You're going to cut it 3 5/8 times 2 13/16 of an inch. You're going to make two of them, and then you're going to make one little belly band. This is supposed to be to scale, and that is going to be, again, 3 5/8 wide. So always check your patterns, and it's going to be by 3/4 of an inch. And that's this little, not belly band. I just mean a little, I don't mean belly band, a little band, a little middle band. So now we're going to talk about the ink colors, and we will now make something for this. So we're going to use Summer Splash. And we're just going to use a little scrap of basic white cardstock, and we're going to stamp onto it Summer Splash, and then we're going to ink it up with, you know, my favorite. These are actually a couple of my favorite colors here. Lemon Lime Twist, the party color, and Lemon Lime Twist. So if any of my students are watching, I really appreciate you, or any of their parents. Of course, you don't need to identify yourselves. We just want to give you a shout out. And now I'm going to talk about all you guys who are here watching me. So hi, Christina Fullen, a YouTube channel member. I did explain what YouTube channel members were to the kiddos, and they thought that was very interesting. Thank you for being a supporter, an ongoing supporter. Hello, Louise Haynes. Nice to see you. T. Barnes. Kelly Stoller. Nice to see you, Janet. Happy Friday. Janet, look how easy these measurements are. Right? And then we're going to just measure some like ribbon and put some embellishments on it. Stamp. Okay. Leslie, Outback Stamping. Nice to see you. So in your card club kits, and just in general, even in your other kits, I always give you these little extra 1/2-inch strips I have from when I give you, let's just turn this over, you know, from when I give you things in your kits. I'm always putting these little basic white scraps in there. So that's what we're going to use to make the Ocean Friends, or Hello Friends, from the Ocean Friends stamp set. It is smaller on the front than it actually is on the stamp. See? Look how much bigger it is. Look how much bigger the stamp is than the front of the stamp set. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, we're going to lay it like that. So always when you mount your stamps, lay it like that. And then I'm just going to mount it flat side up. Okay, we're going to go ahead and tap, tap, tap to the Summer Splash. And it is a little, like, juicy. So kind of maybe I want to go to a part that's not as juicy. Well, I mean, it can be juicy, but maybe that's good. I just want to like kind of get the stamp and make sure it stamps well before I put it on my paper. Now, if it doesn't give a good stamped image, which it does a pretty good job, you can take a little extra, like a marker or something. This is Shy Shamrock would say. We could get a marker or a blend and like, fill in anything if it didn't do a good stamped image. I'm liking it though. I'm just letting you know that's what these markers are really good for, like these blends and things. But I think I'm gonna just give it a couple more tries because I just clean this with a baby wipe, and sometimes when you clean it with a baby wipe, it has a little residue on it, and it doesn't stamp as well as I want it to. All right, so these are all coming out pretty good. And I usually ink the edges first, but this time it's kind of hard for me to estimate how long it's going to be, so I just ink it up. I will ink up the edges afterwards. We'll let that dry for a moment. I'm just going to use a couple more scraps. I'm just going to go ahead and make a few of these because I like to mass produce. These are nice little gifties to have. I gave away about 30 of them. And my friend Karen, who might be watching, I still haven't finished saying hi to everybody. Right before, I left for this event in North Carolina, and we were in Raleigh, and I wrote to her and said, "Have you haven't left yet? Please bring." She's from Michigan. I was like, "Please bring me some of this paper because I'm trying to make more." I ran out of paper. I know I'm trying to make more suitcases for my swaps. I had all the empty suitcases. I put Altoid mints in them. And I said, "Oh, please bring me some more paper." So, of course, she had a pack of paper, and she brought it to me. So we met up at the hotel, and she brought me the paper. So that's as easy as that. So we used the Summer Splash ink. It's one of the in colors, and luckily for us, this is a great in color, in color, meaning it's in for another year. We have our in colors come out for 2 years. I recently showed you the new in colors, like Summer Splash. Let's see, I don't have them all right here. Let's see, I have a few of them. I only have 4 of them, but the one is, I don't know what happened to the 5th one. I mean, the 4th one, but these are 3 of the new ink colors. I used Secret C recently for my projects, so that's why I don't have it here. But these are 3 of the new ink colors, so they go really well with the current ink colors. So we're really happy about that. And then this one's one that's been around for a while. It's a returning color. So we're going to go ahead and open it up, and we're going to put a little bit of this Summer Splash, the Lemon Lime Twist on the edge of these little papers. And I just like to put a little bit of it on a stamping block when I do that. All right. Hello, Bonnie Blake. Nice to see you again. And Debbie Salinas, and both of you guys are awesome channel supporters. Thank you, T, for reminding everyone to give a thumbs up when you're watching the video. And I explained again to the kids, and I just want to tell you, because I was telling you about the career day, I said, engagement is very important. And I really love to live stream. And interestingly enough, it took a couple years at the beginning, because I started my channel in 2017 before I was allowed to live stream. So it took 2 years, because they used to make you have I don't know, several, I think it was I don't know if it was 10,000 subscribers. There was 10,000 hours or something, watch time, or 10,000 views. I can't remember what it was. It was some really high amount, which was, I'm just trying to get rid of that little initial blob. The blob is okay to be over there because we're going to cut it off. I'm just inking up the edges. So you had to have so many, watch time and subscribers and all. Now it's a lot easier to be able to be allowed to live stream. It's a lot easier. But I explained to the students that live streaming gives me the chance to engage with my audience. And they're like, "Well, what's engagement?" They're like, they didn't understand. And I was like, well, engagement is how you keep people's attention when you have a video. And I was like, I'm going to try to keep your attention in my presentation by letting you craft. And so I gave everybody the papers, and they crafted along with me. And I showed them some envelopes you can make with 6x6 paper, and some diaper fold treat pouches, of which we've made on this channel many times. And I explained that that's one way to keep people doing is have them do things and keep them crafting. And I said, a lot of my crafty friends on my channel craft along with me, or just the fact that they're watching different movement and different things and learning things, like keeps their attention. So I hope that keeps your attention. The things I'm explaining to you, the extra tips, the products I'm sharing, and of course, if you are paying attention, then please give that, like, thumbs up, because YouTube likes me when I get thumbs up. And the more thumbs up, the more that YouTube will share. I explain what an algorithm is and how YouTube can share my videos with other people, but only if it gets good engagement. So when it gets a good response from you, the viewers, the ones who watch it live, the first set of viewers, and you guys do a lot of comments and you write a lot of things and you put thumbs up, then it says, well, this is not a bad video. This is a good video. People like this video. So YouTube, the algorithm, the computer, it's like a computer program. It'll say, oh, people like this video. So then it will say, we're going to suggest this to others. So in the feed, it'll say, you look like a crafty person. You like other crafty channels. So it'll show people my videos. And if they watch them for like 30 seconds or a minute, then they'll be like, they're watching them. Like they like my video. They're starting to watch it. They watch it for a long time. And they don't just turn away. It means that it interests them. So it means that we, of course, want them to watch longer. We want them to watch the whole time. But if they watch for a few minutes, it means that, like, this is something that they're interested in. And then YouTube says, we're going to keep sharing more of her content with these same people. And that's how I get new subscribers. And did you know, I was showing them my analytics and my students, and half of my subscribers come from YouTube suggesting videos to you. So I wonder if any of you've come to my channel that way. Not by me doing things directly with you, like you're being on my mailing list, or my customers, or people I've met, or friends of friends, or you've seen me on Instagram, you've seen me on Facebook, right? No, more than half, at least half of you have come here because YouTube suggested for you to come here. Now what I'm doing now is I'm cutting off the edge of the banner, and it suggested for you to come here because it knew you liked crafting, and it suggested my channel to you. So how many of you have come here that way, where the channel was just suggested to you? Not by me giving a presentation, not by me appearing on another podcast, just by YouTube randomly suggesting to you, you look like you'd be interested in crafting. So I'm going to suggest a video to you, and then that's how I get my subscribers. So it's very important, if any of you are interested in starting a YouTube channel, that you just stick to one topic, because if not, people will come to you, they will subscribe, and then if you keep changing topics, they'll say, what am I doing here? Like, she just starts talking about, we were talking about crafting, and now she's talking about how to fix a car, and they'll be like, wait a minute, I'm confused. Like, she's talking about fixing a car. So, like, you have to stick with one topic. Of course, I'm not going to talk about fixing a car. That's just an example. Your channels need to be about one topic. So that's why my channel is all about paper crafting, whether we use paper pumpkin kits, the scan and cut. Notice how I'm using the end of one banner to get the exact angle on the other side of the banner. Little trick for you. Whether it's about paper crafting, the brother scan and cut, or whatever we do, we're doing paper crafting kits, paper crafting products. All right, so those are our little banners. Now we'll put them on there. And now we're going to get some little twine and put this on on the suitcase, like so. And we have a little thing for the handle, and we have some little embellishments. So we're almost ready. We're almost done decorating. And when I'm done decorating, you can take your little pictures of stuff. All right, so twine. In your kits, I sent you some of this little wavy trim. I just thought it kind of looked pretty nautical. Pretty cool. And cut off a little piece of that. And then I have this, I sent you all some little linen thread. Now the wavy trim might be retired, but the linen thread is not. Just going to take a piece of it, put it on behind your hello friend. Okay, so just put a little bit of adhesive back here, like so. And then you're going to make a little figure 8. So you're just going to go loop-de-loop, like a little figure 8 like that. Okay, so it's just an extra layer of fun, good stuff. tuck that under there, and then you can kind of check that out. That'll be nice. And then we're going to put a little bit of dimensionals on there. Seeing if I can find a strip of dimensionals. Okay, so I think I'm just going to cut off like a piece of like to make a long strip of, oops, long strip of this dimensional foam adhesive. Okay, there's the one side. Oops, I kind of cut it too thick. Sometimes I use the edge. Hope I didn't trim into, of course you don't want it to show, so hide back there. We don't need any die cuts for this guy. And we're going to put this one right there. Hello, friend. I'm just overlapping it a little bit on there. Okay, now we're going to get our bucket of crafty goodness. Oh, here's the diaper photo I was telling you about that we made last time on this channel. So one of the last times, not the last video, but last time, meaning last time we did stuff with these little crabbies and stuff. So remember I told you we have a bucket of crafty goodness. So we always talk about this. We've done a scan and cut tutorial. If you have the scan and cut, this paper is absolutely fantastic to cut out and layer. So the Friends of the Ocean paper can be cut out and layered like so. You cut out first the shape of the crab or lobster. This is your lobster. And then you cut out an outline piece. I'm just going to use some small pieces from my little bucket. Instead of using some of the stamped images, we're just using the Designer Series paper. So last time we used a crab, lobster, sea star. Maybe I'll use a squid and a fish. We'll see. I don't know yet. Maybe it's here. Seahorse. I'm not sure what I'm going to use yet. I think I do want a little crab or lobster, but I'm going to use the smaller ones. Oh, look, there they are. Look how cute they are. All these little pieces. Oh, there's a hermit crab. Okay, the squid we'll put up there. We might not use the squid. We'll do, let's see. I think I got enough here. We got a shrimp and a hermit crab. We'll put that hermit crab and a sea star. All right, let's see what we got. I'm going to lay this down. Okay, I think I'm not going to use a lobster this time. I'm going to use the pink crab because, oh wait, we'll put the crab back over there. I'm going to use a seahorse. And then I'm going to use this little hermit crab. Let's see, he should go like this. The hermit crab should be facing this way. And a sea star. So we have 4 little things. We're just going to put them on with dimensionals and, I don't know. The fish could be up there, but I don't think I need the fish. Oh, we'll fuse the fish another time because I didn't want to put too much at the top of the... I mean, this might fit better, the little shrimp. The little prawn. Lots of fun stuff. So I'll just use some mini dimensionals to get those on there. All right, hello, Leah from Adelaide, South Australia. Hey, so Phil is saying yesterday she was, let's see. Phil Ham is saying yesterday she did a Google search for scan and cut tutorials, and I was second in the Google search. See that? That is so cool. And you don't know how many years that has taken me. Well, you do know how many years. I told you, 2017 I started. And because I named myself the Papered Chef, it took years and years and years before I came up as a search. Because the cooking group, you know, they came up first. And so anyway, it was so funny because they kept saying, did you really mean the Papered Chef or did you mean the other chef? And it's like, no, I really meant, even for myself when I'm searching for my own channel. Yes, I typed in Papered Chef. That's what I meant. So anyway, then I came up in search and it took me a while just to come up and search at all, like with or without the topic, just to even be showing up at all. Even when I type in my own name, my exact name. And then after a while, like I came up and searched for the right thing. So for like now, like you said, for like the Brothers Scan and Cut. So I probably have like several hundred tutorials on the scan and cut, not to mention hundreds more hours, hundreds more on my Udemy courses. I have 20 Udemy courses. So the Udemy courses are like the ones where you'll get 7 hours of instruction or whatever, 5 hours of instruction on the scan and cut. So like so much scan and cut content, so many series and so many tutorials. So yeah, I don't know if anybody that's done more than me on the scan and cut on YouTube, except for the company itself. Maybe the company but I don't think any individuals have done more scan and cut content since the machines have come out. But, you know, I'm busy now. I'm working full time, so who knows? Someone can surpass me. Have at it. It just means more people love the scan and cut. I love sharing, and I hope other people love sharing the topic too, because the more people who get scan and cuts, it all helps us all. We all like learning tips from other people too. I'm just going to get rid of these little bits and pieces in my little baby Dollar Tree trash can, $1.25 tree. All right, so let's put back our extra little critters. Even though I have a couple suitcases to decorate, I did want to show you one more fold real quick. I'm not going to, go through the whole decoration, but I want to show you again how to fold it in case you came late. I really do like that little prawn. He needs to go on there. And now the reason they do have like pink crabs in here, and they have like I say pink meaning the melon mambo, but they also have the little calypso coral color. So I was just trying because this little suitcase treat box is calypso coral, I was trying to use colors that contrast with it. So how fun is that little guy? And then we're going to take some of these little summer, I forget what they're called. But anyway, these cute little embellishments that go with the suite. It will be easy enough to find because they're all part of the suite. And I don't even know if they're available right now, anywho. But they will be sunny days, not summer. Sunny days, iridescent dots. So if you find that something's not available now, if at first you don't succeed, try again, meaning there will be available at some point. And if not, just use other embellishments. It's only embellishments, guys. Don't worry about it. Whoops. You're not supposed to be there. You're supposed to be up here somewhere. Here, we'll put you down there. Okay. I was trying to get this little guy. Oop, I don't want to do that. So I just did one of those colors. Let's put one of these little guys down there. Okay, so I put a few. I like to put these in threes. And then I also like to add Wink of Stella. Wink of Stella is a glitter pen. And it's going to make everything shine, shine, shine. So I put that over all the critters. And I also take the Wink of Stella and put it on the edge of my little banner. But try not to get it on the actual words hello friends, because then it will run. All right, so now we're going to open up this box and put some fun stuff in it. Before we put the little top handle on, because then I won't have to take the handle off. Well, look at me, I'm shaking this. I meant to shake the Wink of Stella. I didn't mean to shake my little gems. Okay, so we have lots of fun stuff to fit in here. I'm going to just dump out some candies. So these are little mini Tic Tacs. And I like to put mini Tic Tacs in my thing. And I like to put little ginger chews. These are so yummy. Ginger chews. Great candies. But I also can fit, we'll put a couple more of those. I can also fit things in there like a giant pack of Altoids, however you say that, mints. I'm going to put a little blue Tic Tac in there. Here, because these are 2 white ones. I want to put 3 different colors. So lots of fun stuff. Now I can shut it because I wanted to make sure. Once I put this other little part on it, you're going to see that it then is like you have to take that off to open it. Kind of. I mean, maybe not. Like, it's easier to take this off. So once I do that, then I take this little guy, and you know how to put on a luggage tag? So I'm just going to kind of flatten that out. You're going to go like this. So you're going to make a little loop like so. Thank you, Leah. She's saying she found my scan and cut videos very helpful. I appreciate it. I appreciate your comment. And Eileen Miller, who's one of my paper chefs, said she found my channel by looking through scan and cut video tutorials. So that's awesome. And T. Barnes is saying she was suggested, my channel was suggested to her as well. So that's awesome. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm putting this little guy, like I just looped it around, like so. Now that way, it's like, now you could try to get this off with that on. It might go through this hole, right? But it's just easier to take that little thing off. That's why I wanted to put this candy in there first. It's just easier. So now it makes a little noise too. So I want to show you before you take your picture. Well, you can take your picture if you want. There's a picture. I just want to show you how to fold that. Picture meaning you guys like to take pictures of screenshots, of my measurements. That's how to do this. Here, let's clean this. Well, it's never going to be clean. My table's never clean, so it is what it is. Just take your picture. And I will then show you how to fold the little box again. So let's see what other comments we have. So Christina Fullen, she was looking for craft fair items to make, and YouTube suggested me. And those are my popular videos. My very, very popular videos is like, 20 craft fair items to make and sell. And I did so many craft fairs in the past. And those videos and that course I taught is very popular. Because whenever people want to learn how to sell crafts, then it does, like, that's a very popular video. So I'm glad that you found that. And then, so Janet, my team member, sitting here putting these in her cart. These are just so great because even though you can make these yourself with cardstock, cardstock prices are going up. And plus, these are like, what's the word? Shiny. It's like a shiny finish on one side and a matte on the other. So this is super, super, like, thick cardstock. It's thicker than our Stampin' Up! Cardstock. So again, I just want to show you how to assemble these really easily. So you see that all the score lines are made for you. And it's just way easier than trying to make these yourself, cutting them out. And you know how Brother Scan and Cut makes those funky score lines? I mean, let's face it. These are better score lines. And this is just better quality paper. So I just say, buy the suitcases. Don't reinvent the wheel. If you want suitcases. Buy them if you want suitcases. Versus if this is the kind of box you want. And then I'm going to show you a travel themed suitcase in a moment. The one I used for my swap. So we're going to fold it like so. First, make sure you fold along all the score lines. And then you're going to go like that. So it's just like so. Okay? I'm just slow down for this part. So you fold it along all the score lines. And now you're ready to snap in the sides. Okay. We're going to just go like that and push it. And it's going to click. Kind of connect. Sort of hear a noise. It sort of clicks, right? Like in there. And then we're going to go to the other side. And we're going to click it in. Okay, now we're going to take this part. And we're going to fold it backwards. That's the only little tricky part of this whole assembly. And it took me a few tries to figure out what to do with this little flap. I'm going to fold it down. And then you're going to fold it back on itself like so. So you're going to see? Kind of little accordion. Now we're going to take the box and we're going to shut it. And we're going to tuck those little flaps in. Load it up with your treats. Tuck the little flaps in. These are going to be great stocking stuffers. Oh, let's show you with the gift card here. Let's get a gift card. And let's put a gift card in there. So you can see the size. You guys want to always know the size of things. Look at that. With room to spare. So since this one's not going to be done yet anyway, I'm always going to be stuffing it before I enter. Just leave the gift card in there. And boom. So when you go like that, that's how the handle sticks out perfectly. Like on top, it just sticks up. Isn't that cool? So easy. So we have like before and after. What a difference. So now let's show you what else. So I hope you took your screenshot of that. We're going to show you what else we can make using the Fun Ocean Suite. Friends of the Ocean. So after I did the scan and cut tutorial where we cut out loads and loads of these critters, I showed how to make this easel card. Okay, so this is it's this month's video. So I don't remember the date. Okay, but this is what we made, the easel card. And we made 2 of those. And they're just slightly different, meaning little foil might be different. And it is thicker. So like this is thicker than a regular card. So it's going to require, it folds down flat. It's an A2 card, but it's going to require a little extra postage. Okay, yeah. So Leslie, I'm with you. She's saying, I'm not a fan of scan and cut score lines. They're perforated. Ka-chung, 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 ka-chung. So like it's better to use, like I do like the pen holder and scoring tool. But I still rather just, like sometimes if I make boxes with the scan and cut, I just take them off after I'm done cutting them. And then I just, like here's a box for an example. I would make one of these, like templates, and I would literally just put it on my Simply Scored and just score it with the scoring tool later. And I would just score it myself because I don't like the perforated, cuts. But in my courses, I want to teach how to make everything start to finish. And I do show you how to make the boxes. Okay, I'm going to show you one of them. Here's a box made with the scan and cut. It's not bad. It's so much easier with the scan and cut. The score lines were made. See that? They're perforated. See that little perforation? So that's just the difference. It's like it makes it so quick. It makes it instantly, and the machine makes the whole thing for you. Cuts, scores, instantly. And it's same. It's a similar size as this, and it's great because you can make it with any color cardstock you want. And that's the advantage of that versus like one of these boxes. But you can make your little thumb hole, and if as long as you use the real cardstock, meaning the Stampin' Up! Cardstock, not the like the fake cheap stuff from big box stores or whatever, then it's gonna hold up really well. So anyway, that's an idea for you. Anywho, we got the easel card. So I'm like you. I'm not a fan of the score lines, but I do like the ease of it, like the one-stop shopping where it makes everything for you. All right. Well, thank you all for your talking about all these different topics. I'm just looking at all the different comments and making sure. So anyway, those are some projects. And oh, Nola's here. Nice to see you from Oregon. Appreciate you. Jean is here. Pennsylvania. Oh, Peggy is here. Peggy Dickerson, one of my lovely channel supporters, who is always sending me the cutest things in the mail. Thank you so much for all that you do. All right, so I want to just now show you a couple other things made with this suite. And these were not made by me. So these were made by me, the little suitcases, and then this little diaper fold. This is the one where I was talking about where I taught the kids to make. So you can make an envelope or a diaper fold treat pouch using a 6x6 paper. So if you want to recall how to make it, just look up my easel. Actually, look up the easel card tutorial, because in the easel card tutorial, that is where I showed how to make the diaper fold in the same tutorial. I believe we did it all in the same night. All right, now, these other cards, I will give credit where credit's due. I'm going to open them up and see who made these. These are what's called a swap. So that's that really fun die. See the die with the little stitching inside? Okay, this one is Susan Edwards. Bonnie, did I get the package? I don't know, Bonnie. I have to go look, I guess, because I don't know if I got your package. I don't think so, because I did get some, well, maybe I did. I don't know yet. I have not checked my mail. Let's put it that way, because I just got home and I didn't check my mail. So maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but I want to say never, but thank you for sending a package, and I will try it to see if I got it or track it. If I got it, I didn't open it because I didn't actually see it yet. All right, this one is made by Julie Reef, and look at this really fun fold. We'll do a card with this fun fold as well, because this is a similar fold to the fold I used for my swaps. Like not this backwards fold, but I'm going to do one where this part sticks over than this part. But this is like an extra layer of it. Isn't this awesome? She went like above and beyond the fold that I did. It's my swap, but we will do something similar to this really fun inspirational fold. I like how she used the bubbles. And I like how she put all the different things for the swap, like all the different materials on the paper. So look at how she used the wavy embossing photo too. I know, aren't the color combinations gorgeous, Janet? I love lemon lime twist and all this stuff. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. This is Cindy Pimley. Look at how cute it is where she put, Cindy always does such cute cards with the little coral on the inside and this beautiful die, and she did some heat embossing on that. Okay, and that's her fun bag that it on it as well. All right, what do we have? It says this one's my friend Kathy. This is Kathy Schmidt, Backyard Stamper. She's always usually watching. So where are you, Kathy? We miss you. I got to see her and Jean. I got to see a few people watching when I was in Raleigh. Sometimes the simplest things mean the most. Isn't this cute? This is called a book fold. Well, there's different names, but this one has a book fold with a ribbon tie. I did a course on different kinds of folds on Udemy. So if you need every step of the card making, if like an hour tutorial is not enough for you, you want every step. You want to know all the ways I mass produce cards and watch the whole course. There's very inexpensive courses on Udemy. Just sign up for my newsletter using the link to my store below. Okay, I can't get that in there, Kathy. And then you're going to get to see how I do a whole course from start to finish on the different card making tutorials, card making workshops, they're called. Okay, this one says, "You're the best." And I love the lemon lime twist in here in the back, little pieces of paper. And this one is Hattie Walker Nelson. She is my upline, also my team member. So we have like, this is a swap we do every quarter. The next one's going to be something called a bendy card. A bendy card. I was going to say a curvy card. The next topic is bendy cards. We're going to be making bendy cards for our swap. Oh, here's another super fun one. Cindy Adair. Look at this little fun guy with the wave embossing folder. And then she used one of these borders dies to make the edge here. Oh, she likes them. So Bonnie's saying the card shop tutorials on Udemy are awesome. So helpful, so full of information. Basically, what I do is I just go through. So when I make those courses, it's like, oh, I need to make 40 cards or whatever. I need to make 25 cards. So what I do is when I need to mass produce cards myself, I say, whoa, this would be fun to record the entire process from start to finish for my audience. And then as I make mistakes or I cut the cards wrong or score, whatever, I record those mistakes as well. So you can kind of see my entire process, start to finish, mistakes and all, how I correct the mistakes, all the different tips and tricks for mass producing. Then at the end, I give you all these different alternative designs. Let's put this back together so that you have alternative designs to do as well. And then you get to see how I use a product suite. And I'm usually using something from Stampin' Up. And it might not always be current because the course might retire, but then what I show is current. The products, it was current at the time, but then maybe the products retire. So I want to show you some of the things I showed the students, and I'm just going to we're done now. By the way, thank you very much. We're done our tutorial, and I appreciate you being here. I do have a few new products. I forgot I did a whole second pre-order. Isn't that like sad when I don't remember what I ordered? I did a whole second pre-order. So if you got to see me do unboxing, I'm going to show you some other things for my pre-order. So I showed my students that 3D projects. So this is a little, what's in here? I think more Tic Tacs. Yeah. I don't remember what I put in here. But I don't want to open it, but it's more of what I think because I put this little extra little gold trim on top. So this is another paper that's from our online exclusive collection. Okay, so check out these new products. And Embrace the Journey is something from, oh boy, I already forgot the name of that one too. It's not Everyday Arches. Yeah, I think it's called Everyday Arches. Yeah, Embrace the Journey. So this is a little suitcase treat box that you can make. So that's another theme for that. Anyway, I was showing the students like how the different things we're doing in my card club. So this is, if you're part of my Card on Blue card club, this is what we're making this month. We've already made this one live on my channel, and we'll make maybe the rest of, at least 2 of them this weekend. We'll definitely make this one because it's part of the same type of paper. And we might make these 2 together because this one's super simple because there's very little stamping. We're using ephemera. The ephemera package you all got with your Card on Blue card club is this one that was complimentary in your package. I always send you some products. So birthday treats, mix and match. So we'll probably do this tutorial next and then this 2 tutorials together with the Card on Blue card club. And then I just showed them some celebration items and like how I showed them the stamp set for the seagulls and how it'll turn into, it'll turn into this and how you can start with the stamp set and turn into that. So then there's different things. Here's more seagulls. Oh, these are cards that I got from Stampin' Up. So let's put those over there. And just more products. There's more seagulls. So I basically just took a lot of my things and put them into packages and bags so that nobody would like get their little grubby hands all over them. No, not that they have grubby hands, but just showing you some things. A lot of these I made with celebration items. So I gave them each a piece of fruit paper after we did the Disney things. So first I gave them some of this kind of paper. And then after I gave them that paper and they made the cute little envelopes out of it, then I gave them a piece of the fruit and they got to pick their fruit paper. And then they made the different things with it. And I showed them some of my some cards I made with the fruit salad paper. It was one of the celebration items. I'm just finally getting around to putting everything in the bags. You might have been part of my celebration card club and have seen these before, but actually I just got done putting like the white pieces in the middle. Here's a fun fold shaker card. I just got done putting the pieces in the middle, stamping the middle, putting these all together, putting the stickers on the back. So now I can actually thank my customers. So if you ordered from me recently and you didn't get a card, it's really because I just hadn't put them in bags yet to send them to you. But I will. I will do it soon. So those are, I hope you had fun seeing all these different things. And stay tuned this weekend. I'll show you some new product as well. Well, thank you all for watching. This is the Paper Chef. Have a great evening.